breakfast to one and every single one of you bastards out there. It's Friday. It's 4 p.m. GMT. We're live. We're live. We've been live already this week, but we're live again now. Because it's drama time. The drama's here. It's all good. It's such a good day. It's such a great day. The sun's out. I've got a kid's birthday party next week. I had to buy the cake today. Thomas the Tank Engine cake. Get on that level. Do it. And today, we're going to chill out. We're going to chill out because there's no stream this weekend, but what there is the glory of drama right now. I've picked 4 stories because my wife's not home. Hey! And the kids are out. Hey! Which means we can go maybe a little bit longer depending on whether she comes back during the show. But I have picked 4 stories. So as I've picked 4 stories, we'll kind of get on with it. So hopefully I get the pacing right, unlike in Mad Max. It was resolving the method drama. I have no comment either way, one way or the other. There are people I spoke to who are in both sides. So I'm going to leave it there. Nothing to do with me, not my guild. Guilds die and guilds get made. Simple as that. I will not mention it ever again. Hey! Easy enough? Awesome. Good stuff. Let's start off with some RP. Why not? Let's kick off with some RP. Let's kick off as we mean to go on. Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Let's do that. This one was called RP Gone Wrong. RP Gone Wrong. And it's a short story. Little short tale to get us started on this baby. There's no names in it, so I've just delayed that purposely so everyone can start shouting me. Begin. Thank you. And let's get on with it. Oh, preacher, my story starts at the house close by to Goldshire. Where I started RPing. I'd figured out there lived a family in that house. The grandma told someone that they had stolen her clothes. I believe this is the RP. I don't know. I believe this is the RP story. The grandma of the house told someone they'd stolen her clothes. Weird, right? Stole the grandma's clothes. But she was pretty, kept herself trim. Not a lot of bush, just a little bit of classy amount of Ceto. I rushed over there and said, "Who is the man that has stolen thy clothes?" She pointed at a level 1 warlock. Dirty bastard. He started running, and I shit you not, I followed him for 7 straight minutes, until he was attacked by a wolf. I saved him and said, "You, there, you have to answer for your crimes." We ventured back. Walking, of course. RP. It took some time getting back, but it eventually happened. She was so happy I had brought this scum to justice that she asked to suck me off. Even though I'm 17 and I was still weirded out by this, I declined. No, good madam. No, good madam grandma. No need to blow me for this courageous act. Eventually, my friendship with this grandma grew, and I joined their family. Like you do. And she sent me... This is where it gets real, people. She sent me a group invite. I was officially adopted to be their 36-year-old man of the family. 36 specifically, right? Gotta be specific. You're 36, not 35, not 37. You're 36. 20 minutes later, after more blowjob requests, a strange hunter entered the house and said that she wanted to join the family as well. Grandma declined because she hated that she was hot as a female night elf. Grandma asked to marry me. I said yes, because why not? I enjoyed this story. We went to the bridge outside the house where Grandpa, who you would think was married to Grandma, did the ceremony to Grandma and the 36-year-old. After I was married, Grandpa said, "Who the hell gonna pay me for this?" In those exact words. My so-called new wife said to me that I'm poor as fuck. Instant regret. Instant regret. So I paid Grandpa 20 silver like a gent. 10 minutes passed. I said I'm going hunting. My wife became angry and didn't want me to leave because she said that I would cheat on her while I was out in those woods. But I went anyways to kill some animals. After I had defeated 3 wolves, I saw her peeking at me from behind a tree. Grandma stalking. I see you, I shouted. When I finally ran over to her, I asked, why have you followed me? Grandma replied with, you're going to go and suck some big black dick. I was somewhat horrified by this and ran. I ran to tell everybody. Grandma was furious, and when my wife returned, she acted like nothing had ever happened. I said I will not be your husband anymore because I could not trust her. She started crying and following me around, saying that I am her bitch slave as her husband and that she was going to take me into her sex dungeon. I asked a fellow RPer to rescue me. We started riding his motorcycle with style, but she followed us with her flying mount. When me and the driver stopped, I said to her, go to hell, you whore. She started bursting out laughing. Suddenly, my friend on Skype unmuted himself and said it was him all along. I was freaked out by his request about big black dicks, but amused at the same time. So I laughed it up with him. And to this day, I never returned to Goldshire to RP again. Yeah? Boom! Did I take you on a ride? We're 7 minutes in, people. We're fucking 7 minutes in and you've been on a ride. That's what it's about. You're 7 minutes in and you've been on a ride. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get racist. Let's open all the doors. Let's open all the doors. Let's get racist. Right. No characters in this one either. The title of this story is how half my guild got suspended in one night. Half my guild got suspended in one night. Hello to you, preaching ghost. Nope. This is a brief story of how me and half of my guild got suspended after a night of acting like complete twats. I'm from Team UK, and I've been playing since vanilla. I joined this guild sometime during the Burning Crusade. However, this story takes place in the same guild during Wrath of the Lich King. One night we decided we would go off and have a bit of fun as a guild. Let's go and have a laugh, eh, guys? Mucking about on another server. It was all pretty harmless at first. A group of us all created new gnome characters on another server and ran our little arses to Ironforge. Once there, we would find a capped person who was just idling around the sea, follow and chant to them as if we were worshipping them as a god. Some poor guy would have a rather small army of gnomes following him about like ducklings following their mother. To our surprise, most people just ignored us. Tends to be how it goes, isn't it, guys? This is going to be hilarious. And no one gives a shit. Most people did ignore us. A couple seemed to think it was funny, and they actually joined us, which we didn't like. However, we decided we needed to up our game a bit, as it wasn't really getting us very far. We managed to convince a mage somewhere to put all of us to Dalaran, where we had a whole lot more capped victims for our tomfoolery. Somewhere along the line, this silly joke started to escalate. And at some point, a lot of us decided to take it to general chat. At first, this was just rubbish about how great our guild was, even though it was on another server and no one had ever heard of our guild at all. But at some point, we started getting abusive. There's always one, isn't there? There's always one who just pushes you over the fucking edge, and now you're in abusive territory. The first warning bell on this fine night that things were going south was when some of my guildies turned to spamming general chat into various racist and generally offensive remarks, and the most common spammed one was Hitler was right. Now, how did that transition happen? You started as gnomes to follow somebody like ducklings, and it seems that very quickly you descended to Hitler. Now, I don't want to say that this happened over many hours, because I believe it probably happened in a really short period of time, but that's a bridge to cross. There's a bridge there that you walked over, and I'm not really sure how you got there. But you did get there. While I did not get involved in this particular stupidity, not me, I am by no means excused. At some point I created another new character, which I called Michael Jackson. Oh, to be young. I then walked around Stormwind, RP walking, asking people when Children's Day was. So Hitler was too far, is what you're telling me. This is what you're telling me, is that Hitler was too far. but having said that, that's where you went. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, this all fizzled out at some point, and we all just went to bed. The next day, I went to our guild forums, which was pretty active at the time, to see if anyone was talking about the previous night's fun. I was right. A thread had indeed been started. A few people had received 24 and some 48-hour suspensions as punishment for our actions the previous night. You got really lucky. You got incredibly lucky. I do believe, call me a liar, but didn't a huge streamer get banned recently permanently from Diablo 3 for naming his clan ISIS? Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I can't see why anybody would report that at all. You fucking idiot. What? Woo! What a big joke. I joined the people who were laughing at everybody who had been banned. Until I decided to try and log in myself. But I could not log in. The game wasn't giving me an error message, I just couldn't log in. What was going on? Oh shit, I thought. I checked my emails and there it was. The email of shame. Shame. Blizzard should just send that. Blizzard should just send shame. Shame. Shame from Blizzard. It informed me that due to my not only suggestive comments and involvement with the racism, but also for creating Michael Jackson and generally mocking paedophilia, my account got a 72-hour suspension and immediately placed in what they call a final warning state. Which means if I ever fuck up again, it's the big ass fucking hammer for me. Suffice to say, I know I done goofed that night. I learnt my lesson and have not done anything like that again. I still play today and I'm still in the same guild. I hope you enjoyed my brief story of stupidity. Finally, I was lucky enough to go to BlizzCon last year where I got to meet you. You didn't tell me the Michael Jackson story when you met me, did you? Did you? Kept that one to your fucking self. Kept that sneaky, did you? Hey, I made jokes about pedophiles. Did you? Did you? Shame. I would have shamed you. Publicly. Shame. I would have flogged you around that arena. I would have flogged you. Right. The moment you've all been waiting for. I can put some of you in this story because there's characters in it. Alright. So I need a gnome mage. And a dwarf hunter. Forgot his name. We'll call him Hunter. Imaginative. Shame. Shame. Oh, thanks, Jax. I appreciate that. Oh, what a good guy, Jax. You're a nice guy. Right. No mage. So who's blue? Charlie Hill. Charlie will do. Charlie. I'm going to call you Charlie, but it's Charlie Hill. And Hunter. Who's green? Salared. Salared. Salared be green. Easy enough to do. Easy. This story is entitled, as you can see, we've gone quite down the rabbit hole today already. The story is entitled, The Creamy, Creamy Hurricane. It involves 3 Swedish boys at the tender age of 9 years old. And we're going for the creamy, creamy hurricane. Creamy, creamy. Okay, here we go. Let's get creamy. This is the story all about 3 Swedish boys at the tender age of 9 years old. It all started back in 2005 when I first started playing World of Warcraft. I rolled a gnome mage since one of my friends had already played a gnome mage. His name was Charlie, and he had been playing since the beta and started when he was 8 years old. I Around the time I started playing, another friend started. He was called Salared and played a dwarf hunter. He was a bit of a dick. Sorry, Salared. In brackets, he was a bit of a dick. We were all fucking retarded. Horrible at the game. Did not speak any English and were 9 years old. So we've got a clear set of what we're going for. Thrice 9-year-olds. No English to speak of, which I'm not being smug, but it helps. It helps in most MMOs to be able to speak English, as we know, unless you're Paragon. Team Finland. And this is the basis of our story. We all more or less sucked. Okay? Me and Salared sucked the worst. Charlie was a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, Charlie was still shit, but he was higher level than us. Is anybody Swedish in the chat? I need your help, Charlie. Charlie, though, was a very nice guy, but he had social and anger problems. Of course he does. At 9 years old. At 9 years old, Charlie has social and anger problems. Charlie. Oh, cool. We do have some Team Sweet. Excellent. Charlie has anger problems. Okay, this is going to be great. Anger problems at 9. He would often get us in trouble by breaking windows or, in one instance, stabbing a girl with a fork at school for using his pencil. Right. Okay. Charlie. Good lad. You stabbed a girl for using your pencil. Charlie. You probably want to calm it down a little bit, Charlie. I'm not saying you overreacted. It might have been a very expensive pencil, for all we know. It could have been in a really... It might have been one of them troll pencils with the hair on the end. Shit. Right? Could have been. Could have been a mechanical pencil. Rare. In Sweden. Backwards technology. Yeah? Could have been. You don't know. Despite this, Charlie often told me, and Salared, that it was important to be nice to people on the internet. Ugh! Be nice to people. Ugh! Like this one time when all three of us had a small LAN party. Now, I don't know why that's an inverted quotations, but it is. We had it at Salared's place. And me and him were trolling people in instances. Charlie told us that he would not help us anymore if we were going to constantly be mean to random people on the internet. How mean can two Swedish 9-year-olds be that can't speak English? I guarantee nobody knew what was going on. You can see, can't you? Like two people speaking a foreign language. Everyone in there doesn't speak Swedish. I don't know what you're doing. That same night, though, we ordered pizza. And Charlie called the pizza guy an idiot for dropping his car keys. Still got that anger. Internet anger has no place. IRL anger, though, that's pretty good. Since Charlie was higher level than us, he might have even been level 60. And me and Salared were only level 40. I asked him to boost me in instances. In exchange for boosting me, I would pay him. I would pay him in his favourite candy. A chocolate cream called... I'm sorry, Swedish. Nochram. I'll put it in the chat. This is how we will pay. This is how we will pay. It sounds strange, but it was a small bag of nut chocolate cream that ran for about 20 cents each. Oh, nut cream? Ew, what? Nut cream? It's not called nut cream. Is it called nut cream? Is that what it's called, really? Is that the translation? Just call it nut cream. It can't be called nut cream. Is it really called nut cream? Who would call their product nut cream? I'm not eating nut cream. No way. No way. No way. It's literally called nut cream. Fuck off. That's ridiculous. Anyway, it sounds strange, but it was small bags of nut cream that were about 20 cents a piece. As you may know, sweets are all that matter to a 9-year-old, and he only got a very limited amount of nut cream from his parents. That's the only nut cream you're having for today, son. Tomorrow you can have more nut cream. Okay? Now run along and go and do Swedish things. Saunas and such. Nut cream tomorrow. Good parents. You don't want to overdo the nut cream, do you? As parents, you don't want to just like splash out and waste it all. Otherwise, you'll just take it for granted when you give him the nut cream. So, I would often give him 1 or 2 nut creams for boosting me in an instance. Life was good. One night, I had paid about 10 nut cream bags. 10 bags of nut cream. 10 bags of nut cream to Charlie to boost me in Alderman. Whoa, what? Alderman booster worth 10 bags of nut cream? That's awesome, man. In the middle of a run, though, oh no, Salared logged on and said, "Can I join you, bros?" I said, "No, since I have paid nut cream for these runs and don't want to share the experience. If you want to join, you have to pay your own nut cream." Right? Friends don't let friends abuse the nut cream. Not in Sweden, not on this channel, and not in this community. Right? Nut cream is precious. You can't just come in on a nut cream agreement. There's been an agreement between the nut cream. And you can't just come in there. Me and Charlie kept on going without Salared. But after a few minutes, though, I got disconnected. I thought it was just a normal internet problem, but it happened again. I went downstairs to check my router. The router was fine. But then Charlie rang me on my home phone and asked why I was hearthstoning out of the dungeon. Since Salared knew my password, I knew what the fuck was going on. I ran upstairs and logged my account. What ensued was an intense battle of wits to change the password and keep disconnecting the other person. All the while barely knowing where to log on to the website and actually change the password. Charlie told me he would do a few more runs in Alderman the next day, but he was going to bed as he thought this was ridiculous. He already got the nut cream though, right? Charlie's swimming in nut cream. Doesn't need this fucking shit. You two fight it out. I'm off to rub the nut cream all over my face. Oh, level 16 Alderman. Slurp it down. Slurp it. I thought all was good. I thought all was good. And that Salared were just jealous. And that he would calm down the next day. Since it often happened that we were getting small fights. And now that I changed my password, my account was probably safe until he calmed down. I went to bed, safe in the knowledge that one, my nut cream was secure and paid for my runs the next day. And my account was safe. The next morning, I logged into World of Warcraft and found that all my golds were gone. I had 350 gold. This might not seem like a lot of gold, but for a level 45 in vanilla, it was a shitload. It was. How the fuck did you even get that? Nut cream? Did you buy that with nut cream? Did you? You did, didn't you? You are like the nut cream pimp. Pimping the cream. Why did you have so much nut cream? Like 10 bags of nut cream? Salared had figured out my password again. Looking back, it might not have even been so hard because I just added 1, 2, 3 to the end of my previous password. Haha! Outplayed, Salared. Figure that one out, idiot. 1, 2, nut cream, 1, 2, 3. Yes! Secure! Nailed it. At this point, I was so sad. I figured he would give it back if I confronted him. What I heard next, though, broke my heart. Salared had used all my golds to buy Hurricane, a level 48 epic bow. He had mentioned it before and said it was the best weapon in the game and would make him the best hunter in the world if he had it. As any 9-year-old would, I started crying. I ran to my mum. I was devastated. My mum called Salared's mum and made her drive Salared over to my house to apologise. Aww. We became friends again. He gave all the gold he had left, around 100. I never even reached level 60 on my mage. I quit playing to focus on my level 19 twink. Age 9 confirmed. Age 9 confirmed. Fuck this game. I'm going to make a twink. I'm going to make a twink. No, it's not to po noobs. It's because when there's loads of twinks on either side, it's really fun. That's why we do it. A few weeks after the Burning Crusade, I quit WoW. But I've been dipping into it a few times over the last 10 years. I hope you enjoyed my creamy, nut-filled adventure in WoW as a 9-year-old boy. And a big thanks to Charlie, who I'm still great friends with, for helping me remember the details of this story. If you read my story, I will give him a bag of nut cream as a thanks for the help. Oh, it makes me happy to know that in 2015, 10 years after the original nut cream, Charlie is going to get another nut cream. He's going to get one. Enjoy it, Charlie. Smear that nut cream. Smear it. Smear it. Make it happen. Okay. Right, the characters come later. I need two brothers. What are they called? They don't get mentioned till later. Hold! Okay, there's one. Right. I need two brothers. Doesn't matter who. Let's have Jonky. Jonky and Milmoo. Milmoo, you will do nicely. Right. You ready? We've covered all the bases today, haven't we? Let's keep going. Oh, Preacher from Team America. Oh, I need a drink. I need a drink. So stupid to have a drink before the story. Delicious. Hello, Preacher from Team America. I recently picked up your videos, I'd say the last year during November or so, and I appreciate your content, especially Drama Time. My favourite story being, of course, Jelly Bean 2. Never forget. Never forget. Which will always go down in my heart, my dreams, and my memes. Anyways, after watching so many Drama Times, mostly on the YouTubes, as when you stream for me, it's very early in the morning, I decided to write you my noob story. I hope you enjoy. With the most homo of bro fists... it's a cliche, I know. Boom! There you go. Hopefully in chat to hear this live. I hope you are. I hope you're there. The story is entitled, How Could This Happen to Me? A Euphoric Story. A euphoric story. Are you ready to get euphoric? Let me cast your minds back. Back in the ancient year of 2013. I decided to log on to WoW for the very, very first time. By that time, Siege of Orgrimmar was over with. And everyone was excited for the saviour of the franchise, Warlords of Draenor. Wow, this got awkward, didn't it? This got a... Ah, okay. It was my two friends who got me into WoW, both Horde brothers. We call them cheeky fedora tippers, m'lady. They had both played since the Burning Crusade and still love the game to this day. In fact, if it weren't for me, I'd still think they would only ever be playing WoW. That never happened. The older of the two brothers, Jonky, had a maxed out character at every class. All of them were Horde. The younger brother, Milmoo, got his first Horde to 90 through the instant 90 boost. But nearly all of his characters were in the 80s. Some were Alliance, some were Horde, but he got them up to speed pretty quickly. The first proper character I made was an Orc Warrior. I wasn't quite sure which spec I wanted to be yet, but all I did know is that Arms was not an option. Because Fury had two two-handers, and Arms had one two-hander, and therefore Fury does more DPS. I don't even know why you come and ask for a guide. You're not using your fucking brains. Think about it. Think about it, right? That's one, this has two. Science, right? Don't even bother looking for it. Don't even bother looking for it. Stupid. Maths, it's maths. So the real question was between Prot and Fury. I knew about the stereotype concerning orcs of me smash, me angry. But I was green and I did look angry. So I felt that Fury was the only spec to do. I look like the Hulk. It looks green and angry though. I'm going to be a Fury warrior. Because I'm big and angry and green. I made a green character. Gotta be a Fury warrior. Stupid. With two-handers. Who plays arms though? Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. I got 2 weapons. You got 1 though? You moron. So for my first proper WoW character, I had to tank because of leveling without even knowing what a tank was. Oh, I love it. The hawk faces. You're totally fine. This is new player logic. It does make sense in a way for new players to think this way. I think this is fine. I quickly and painfully learned as we entered that first dungeon how to tank. Thankfully, Junkie was our Orc Shaman healer, and just so happened to have all the heirlooms for his spec, so his healing for the dungeon was well above average. As for Milmu, he was our Orc Mage. What? Who has a fucking Orc Mage? What is wrong with you people? Seriously. An Orc Mage? He also had all the... An Orc Mage. Let me tell you, when the transmog competition starts again, Orc Mages are never winning. Never. Never. But he also had all the mage heirlooms. And we DPS things down pretty fast. And then there was me. A Class A noob to World of Warcraft. Tanking a goddamn 5-man. I was told briefly before the dungeon queue that all I had to do was make aggro. Huh. I must make aggro. And to make sure that no one else took any damage. I got the idea. But in practice, I couldn't work out what make aggro was. Make aggro? How do you do that? Make aggro. Look, make aggro. Easy. Stop it. Make aggro. Easy. I had 2 buttons. 2 buttons on my bars. I had charge and I had taunt. And nothing else. And nothing else. If they were on cooldown, auto attacks it was. So taunt, woo! Dubstep, boom, 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 boom. Cooldown. Losing aggro. Mobs attacking someone else. Almost there. Almost there. Boom! Taunt! Yeah, baby! Aggro! Woo! As you might imagine, I lost aggro and faith very quickly. But by some miracle, by some wow Jesus, we didn't wipe. We were only started wiping once we hit level 20s. What are the level 20 dungeons? Level 20 dungeons. I can't even remember. Razorfen, maybe? Razorfen, though? Dead Mines? Dead Mines. But after that first cancerous 5-man that I went through tanking, I put myself through tanking bootcamp. Wailing Caverns? Stockades. Oh my god. I thought Shadowfang Keep had been lower. It's like level 15 now, right? I don't know. Whatever. I haven't been low level in so long, man. I totally miss out. But after the first cancerous dungeon I went through, I put myself through tanking bootcamp. Personally instructed by Junkie. I quickly learned that tanking consisted much more of taunt and charge. There is more to learn, my young Padawan. There is more buttons than taunt and charge. You might have noticed that when you level, you gain new spells and abilities beyond that of taunt and charge. These are the key. These are the ones that you will need to use in order to make aggro. As our ultimate goal, we shall make aggro together. I learned that I had to do something called pull. Huh. Group mobs. And keep mobs close to each other. Let's start with pull. What does one mean by pull? This was way over my head. And I'm not sure if I was ready for this. This seems like a lot of responsibility. By level 30, I logged off my tank for quite some time. Whilst I was leveling my tank to 30, I had also leveled a troll feral druid, which I had deleted with ease because they sucked. It's in the story. It's nothing to do with me. It's in the story. I decided that it was in fact time for something new. After about 3 months of playing World of Warcraft, I finally decided that I was supposed to be a healer. Right. After a very long time, it was decided that I would become... I don't even want to say it. I really don't. It was decided that I would become a Tauren priest. How? How does that even happen? How do you look at that character select screen and go, that's for me? How does that even happen? It's like a joke, right? It's like a joke. Like, nobody does that. Nobody looks at it and goes, yeah, that's for me. I could be a troll. I could be an undead. I could be a blood elf. But Tauren, though. Which, as of right now, the Tauren priest is my main. I decided on a Tauren because they look cool. And just so I could macro, moo, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way. Whenever I cast res. But don't let him forget that Tauren priests look cool. I picked a priest, though, because paladins sounded gay. Yeah, of course, you would say that. Moo, bitch, get out the way. But paladins, they're gay. Can't play a paladin, they're gay. Moo, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. But I can't play a paladin. I'm not a vegan or a furry, so I didn't want to play a druid. There's logic here that you can't deny. There's logic here that you can't deny, right? Well, I'm not a vegan or a furry, so druids are out. So, you know, there you go. Shaman didn't sound effective. Effective. Shamans just don't sound effective. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I mean? You know when I say that? Effective. Last time I checked, water couldn't heal sword wound. Logic! What do you mean? What Riptide? Water? That doesn't heal. Mad Max, though. What? Mad Max, though. You know what I mean? Mad Max, though. Because water does work. At the time, I couldn't make a monk. So priest is all I've got left, right? It just makes absolute sense. We've got all the logic. So just if you're ever at the login screen, right, and you're not sure, paladins, they're just gay. So you can't be one of them. You can't be a resto shaman because water doesn't heal. Stupid. And if you're not a vegan or a furry, you can't play a druid. So there you go. Priest it is. I had lots of fun leveling a priest on my own. Lots of fun. I quickly learned this class very differently than the previous ones I had played. I liked the whole divinity aspect of the class, and how there were not one, but 2 healing specs. The hype was real. I dinged level 10. I was so curious on what I should make myself. Holy or dis? Both sounded cool. So I took it to the brothers on what they think I should make. They both said dis because it was very popular compared to holy. And dis can shield things. Got it. Right. That was reason enough for me. So that is what I chose. As I continued to quest through Thunderbluff and the other Tauren places, I came across a certain questing green, and I fell in love with it. Not only did it give me good stats for that level, it looked fucking awesome. It was a pure white robe, and the simple starting wooden staff. I gave my character a nickname, and stuck with it forever. I made my friends call it me. I became Tauren Jesus. I knew about transmog, so I decided that I would hold on to this level 10 robe and wait to when gear wouldn't be shoveled down your throat like it is in 5-mans. And when I was capped, I would be the Tauren Jesus of my server. Tauren Jesus. However, eventually, by some means, I accidentally deleted my Jesus robes. I bet you had an add-on. I bet you had an add-on. I bet you had an add-on that was like, that item's shit. Get rid. That item's crap. Get rid of it. I was so sad. And I realised it was a quest item, but then I remembered that that quest hadn't been done on any of my alts. Easy. Easy. And I could fix it. The next day I logged on and I made a Tauren Shaman. It didn't really matter what it was. All that mattered was that I could get the same quest and I could get my Jesus robes. I raced through the starting zones. And when I finally got to that quest that handed me my sweet, sweet white robes, I carefully clicked on the Jesus robes and put them safely within my backpack. I then ran as fast as my little shaman could go to the mailbox to send them to my priest. I opened the mailbox, dragged the item in, and put in the name of my priest. And then I clicked send. And something happened. Something that at that moment devastated me as a WoW player. You cannot mail soulbound items. And at that moment I knew Tauren Jesus was to be no more. Thank you for reading my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Would you like to see a picture? Would you guys like to see a picture of Tauren Jesus? Would you guys like to see a picture of Tauren Jesus? Would you? Okay, here you go. I'll find it. One sec. Tauren Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And this is the transmog that died for your sins. Boom. Tauren Jesus. I think it looks pretty much identical, right? I think that looks like Jesus. I think that was pretty bang on. I think that was pretty good. Right, we've still got 50 minutes left. We're going to do the danger. We're going to do a random drama story. I picked 4, but it's always hard to plan for 4. Right, here we go. Let me see. Oh, dear. Okay, this is a reasonable length. What? I know that robe? You guys have that robe? No way. No way. Do you have that Tauren Jesus robe? Right. Alright, we're going to go fast. I don't know what this story is about. I haven't read it, but we've got 15 minutes, so we're going to go for it. Hello, preacher. Welcome to my drama story. This drama will involve gossip of a sexual nature. We did well, guys. Accusations of a gay 24-year-old man. Oh, God. Hold on. Accusations of paedophilia. Jesus Christ. We'll see what road we go down. Let's see how bad it gets. I'm not promising that I will finish the story. I'm letting you know right now. If only I could safely click on some of my drama stories. I have sent you 2 previous stories, entitled The Kickening and My Friend of Mum is a Clicker. So I left off with me joining a guild and being happy with it all the way until WOD's release. But I wasn't really happy because of one person. So I'll add the names in as we go. Why you guys make it so dangerous for me to actually click? I hope this is my email inbox. We're on the highway to hell, well said, Bubble Boy. So we're plodding happily along. I was a nobody, but somehow managed to get into our guild's Mythic 20 and join my friend's challenge mode boosting team, where we made over 1 million gold. And eventually the WoD pre-patch was released. This meant I could finally start raiding Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic and get my Corcoran Juggernaut. We also made some of my GM's friends join, including Chucklehead. That's you, Tommy Chucklehead. Including Chucklehead. And this sounds like a girl's name. Jinxie. And Jinxie. These two were a couple. Chucklehead and Jinxie. Oh, God. These two were a couple. And both played as healers. And Jinxie complained. A lot. She also wasn't particularly good. But for the first few weeks before the pre-patch was released, we were friends. She weaseled her way into a free boost, losing us about 27,000 gold each. And she would always talk about Chucklehead. Chucklehead this, and Chucklehead that, and Chucklehead is the best player I've ever seen. Always talking about him, and what would go on in their lives, in raids, in guild chat, random TeamSpeak conversations, anything. Literally every time she was in the chat, she was talking about Chucklehead and their real lives. As you can imagine, it was piss annoying. We also had a Scottish lad in our guild, by the name of Jungie. Jungie. A Scottish lad in our guild by the name of Jungie, who took a bit of a shine to Jinxie. And they were good friends. Nothing weird. She had that sort of overly girly voice, as if she was trying to flirt with everybody. Obviously not me, seeing as I was 14 and she was 22. And Jungie was single. So apart from her and Chucklehead being a thing, it was all fine. They weren't outright obvious about it, and if anyone said anything, she would just dismiss it. No. But it was back in the back of my mind all the way through Siege of Orgrimmar and High Maul. So when we went through the High Maul, Chucklehead and Jinxie were still a couple, and she visited Chucklehead in Leeds. She lived 3 hours away. One night in High Maul, though, her PC had stopped working. She kept updating us, and Chucklehead was fixing her PC. Eventually she came on later and was very snarky towards the officers of the guild. Blackrock Foundry was released a few weeks later, when I left the guild to move on to a different guild, as I could not make the raid schedule. When 6.1 came out, my WoW would not update, so I had to reinstall the whole fucking thing. This meant my PC was on in my bedroom, and it woke me up about 3:30 AM. I went and checked the download and saw out of all my friends, only 2 were online. I went and checked who. It was Jungie and Jinxie. Hey, apparently Yorkshire people hate each other. Confirmed by our Prime Minister today. The next day I logged on my alt that was still in the guild. It said something along the lines of, "Hey, Jungie, were you on a date with Jinxie at 3:30 in the morning?" He seemed to get very defensive, and I told him it was just a joke. There's no need to worry, though, bro. No need to worry, bro. Bro, calm down. You fucking that guy's girlfriend? Just kidding, though. Just kidding, though. Don't get mad about it. 2 weeks later, though, Chucklehead and Jinxie broke up. And during that, Jinxie fell out with our GM and transferred off the server. It is important to know that me and the GM are really good friends. We chatted on TeamSpeak almost every day, played a bunch of games, did mop challenge modes and more. We also made a few jokes about me living in his basement and him grooming me. Right. Good joke, though. There's nothing better than being in a joke about you grooming a 14-year-old boy. That's a good joke. I hope someone makes a joke like that about me. That would be amazing. I can't think of anything better. I hope the whole internet does. I hope it's like a running joke in the guild. I hope everyone logs on and is like, how's your 14-year-old grooming going? Yes, it sounds weird from the outside. Correct. It does. It does sound weird from the outside. But everyone knew it was just jokes. Just a bit of banter, though. Just a bit of banter, innit? I'm not really trying to fuck that little boy. I'm not really trying. It's just a joke, though. Jokes, mate. Them's just jokes. Them's just jokes. As Jinxie had fallen out with our GM, though, Jinxie decided to take it to trade chat. Telling all of trade chat that it was, in fact, being groomed by the GM. And he was a 22-year-old gay GM, and that he wanted to lure that she had been told that the ultimate plan of the GM was to lure me to Holland to have sex. Come to Holland. We have the red light district and clogs and bicycles. Bicycles and canals for days. Come to me, little boy. Come, come, come. That's my ultimate plan. Obviously, this was not the case. But Jinxie transferred off the server that evening after spamming trade chat just before the raid. I wasn't in that raid as I was raiding in another guild, but I know for a fact that Jugsy was there. Jungie was there. Don't forget the weed. Just jokes though. And that was to be his final raid. That night he transferred off the server as well. I whispered him telling him it was a bad idea to go with Jinxie, as she was not a very nice person. And she was a fat ass. I had seen a picture on our forum. Trust me, this picture did not go into the wank bank. He would only abuse him for his money. That claim had no basis, but later turned out to be true. He actually deleted me off Real ID for saying this. And I only recently got in contact with him again. And I was right about fat ass. Anyway, I left the guild. I still feel bad about Jungie, but I carried on with life. Eventually, I got in contact with Chucklehead. We talked for a bit, and I didn't have a long conversation, but we basically gossiped about Jinxie for an hour or so. He told me that apparently, Jungie was going down from Scotland to fuck her. He also told me the night her PC broke while Jinxie was at Chucklehead's, she told him if he didn't fix it now, she'll book plane tickets home. If you don't fix my PC right now, I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. I'm going home. She lived 2 hours away. That gives you the caliber of girl we're dealing with here. It turns out my friend didn't fuck her. She pissed him off enough while she was there that he kicked her out before they had a chance to do anything. He then went out to a bar and pilled another girl instead. Or so he told me. Anyway, that's been my mini drama story. I hope you enjoyed. I also got something to ask you, Preach, if you don't mind. What song is you using in the background of your legacy videos? I don't know. The truth be told, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I found it years ago, and it has no file name. It's just on my PC. It's called POL, if that helps. The MP3. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really don't know. But there you go. Yeah, sure he did. Yeah, we've all made that lie. No, I got off with this girl. No, she was really fit. It was really good. And that does bring us to 5 drama stories. That brings us to the end of our drama story. That was good fun. We went on some fucking road trips there, did we not? What an hour. That was pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. We can only imagine what I'm holding back for the web show. It's unfortunate of holding out for the web show. Thank you so much, you wonderful people, for making my week awesome. We had a great last 2 days of stream week. We had drama, and then next week it's just a drama, because we're back on with the WoW videos. Got another Legion video coming out for you tonight, which should hopefully settle some nerves, and I won't be playing Mad Max anymore. Other than that, have a great weekend, guys. Do something cool with your weekend. I'm going to be probably surrounded by kids and dirty nappies and all that kind of shit. But it's going to be good anyway, because the sun's out and it's going to be fun. All right? So be good, and I will see you again soon. All right? Bye, everybody. Thank you to everybody who supports, and all you guys just turned up and saying hi. Thank you. Bye-bye.